What's going on, guys? Just a little bit of Nicky Jam to get me started today, get me in the feel-good zone so I can bring a high energy video to you. So today's topic is going to be actually my story. I get a lot of messages on Instagram, and I guess I get a lot of people reach out to me that join my network or come into my network, and they always ask me what my story is. I'd love to hear your story, and I've never really shared my full story publicly. It's a long one, so I'll try and get it out as quickly as possible. But I guess it's good to just get it out there so you all can, I guess, really know who I am, what I'm about, where I've come from, and what led me into this current position or this current lifestyle, and who I am today, what shaped me as into who I am today. So let me rewind to when I was 2 years old, because this is where it all began. When I was 2 years old, I nearly died. Well, I did die. I was in intensive care for a couple of days, and I wasn't expected to live. And I managed to pull through. But so what had happened, I had a disease called epiglottitis, which is the epiglottis in the throat that goes over the airway. It actually got inflamed and swelled up, and it blocked off my airway, so I couldn't breathe. My mum didn't know what was wrong. She was rushing me to the hospital, and she remembers giving me a little juice pack, and I was trying to drink, and the juice was just coming back out of my mouth, and she was like, something's seriously wrong. Then as she was driving to the hospital, I started to go unconscious. So my eyes started to roll. I went unconscious, and no one knew what was wrong. My mum got to the hospital, no one knew what was up, no one could figure it out, and it was just, I guess I was blessed because there was one doctor there who caught on, and the only reason why he knew what was going on is because a little boy died 2 weeks prior from the exact same thing. So they had to get a trachea down, they had to cut my throat here. I had 9 stitches, probably can't see that scar, but they had to cut my throat, put a trachea down so I could breathe because my airway was blocked off. But what had happened is they punctured my lung collapsed. I had half a lung collapse on the other side, so not only had I been out without oxygen for quite some time, I also was only on half a lung and not looking good. And what came of that is the doctors prepared my parents for the worst, and they said if I survived, I'd been without oxygen for so long to the brain that there's a good chance I might suffer from brain damage. So 2 days later, I woke up and I didn't have brain damage. The first thing I said was I'm hungry. So that's how they knew I didn't have brain damage. But what happened as a follow-on effect, I did have really bad short-term memory problems. So when I went to school, I hated it because I couldn't remember. I couldn't read, I couldn't write. I still remember being in year 1, 6 years old. And I still remember just copying the girl next to me because I just didn't have any idea how to write. And I was just trying to place my commas and full stops in the same places as hers was on her page, just guessing because I had no idea. So I grew up going through school believing I was dumb because I didn't know why. I couldn't remember my accident when I was 2, and I just thought I was a dumb kid. And I was very insecure. I had a lot of low self-esteem, I had a lot of doubt. And that's probably what led me to not trying because I was embarrassed and I just didn't want to try anymore. I still even remember my dad, the poor guy, he was getting so frustrated because he was trying to teach me how to read. And I still remember him getting upset, and he was like, T-H-E, it's the. And I was reading the line, my sentence, and I get to the, and I couldn't remember it again. And I must have been about 7 years old, 8 years old, something like that. But I remember these things, and I was gifted with something else like that. I mean, that could have been a blessing in disguise, but I was gifted with sport. I was an athlete. My mum could have gone to the Olympics, but she had very strict parents that didn't let her go. She was very fast, she was a sprinter, and my dad was pretty good at football as well. So I dove into sports. I broke all the records in primary school, the schools that I went to. For the sprints, long jump, high jump, I was dominated in sports, but my number one passion was Australian rules football, AFL. So I know for those of you that are in the US or Canada or anywhere else, it's not rugby and it's not soccer. It's unique to Australia. A very tough game, very fit game, similar to rugby style, but a bit different. And that was my passion. That I lived and breathed for that. I didn't care about school. There was no plan B. I was playing professional football and that was my career, and there was no other option for me. So I went through school not really trying. Teachers sort of gave up on me a little bit, and I was just, I'm playing football and that is it. So that was all well and good. I had the ability to make it. I got selected into the development squad. I was playing at the highest level in my state. And the most important year of my career, where I was hopefully going to go to the draft, the States, and get drafted into the AFL, which is the highest level. That's where you make the money, and that's where your career is. I suffered double knee surgery, both my knees, from wear and tear. My body wasn't handling the intense training in the game style, and I had to have both my knees operated on at the same time at 17 years old. And this is where my life started to flip upside down. I had to miss the most important year of my life. I thought, well, I've got one more chance. If I can go back next year and play a blinding season, fairest and best type season, maybe I can still get recruited. And I went back to the preseason, started to train again, and my knees were really sore still. They weren't better. And sadly, I had to have my knees double operation again, and that kept me out until I was 19. And in that career, 4 knee surgeries at 19. Good luck getting recruited, because people, if these clubs, it's a business. You don't want injuries, right? You want someone that can play. And I was so far back, so I needed money. I had to go to work. I had no education. My dream was lost, and I had to go to work. So my dad rung up an ad in the newspaper and got me a job in the building and construction industry, and that's how I got into it. He got me a job as a labourer for a bricklayer, and I did that for about 18 months. Quite a physical job, pushing wheelbarrows of cement through the boggy sand and stacking bricks and scaffold, and I just treated it like a workout every day, and got into that for a year and a half. And then eventually I moved into plastering with my brother, where I spent the next 10 years as a plasterer, running my own business as a subcontractor. And then by about the age of 26, I was just miserable. I was so miserable. I'd never had passion because my football career was gone. My mum and dad split up not long after I lost my football career at 18, and my family went through a real tough time. I didn't speak to my mum for a year, and I love her to death. She's an absolute angel, but it was real tough times. Losing the football career, losing the family, and it was just going through work. I hit the party scene a lot, drugs and alcohol, fighting, and I just went through a real bad stage of my life, and until that age of 26, where I started to self-reflect a little bit and ponder, and I started to think, who am I, and what do I want to do with my life? Because I can't work this job. It's plastering here. It was a very physical job, and I was looking at myself. I remember sitting on a milk crate on the work site, just eating my lunch, thinking, what am I going to do with my life? There has to be another way. There has to be more. And in Australia, I started looking at apprenticeships and different careers. I started to look at study. So maybe I can go back to college, to university, and do my builder's ticket and try to become a builder, or estimating, or some kind of career. I needed something more. I couldn't work like this for the rest of my life. I was bored and I was miserable, and I also wasn't making a lot of money. So in the end, I decided, with the mining boom that was in Australia, I applied for over 120 jobs. It took me 12 months to get a job up there. It was very hard in the mining boom to get a position. And eventually I landed what I considered to be my dream job at the time, which was working on an oil and gas plant, constructing an oil and gas plant off the coast of Western Australia, which was probably one of the highest paying projects in Australia. And that's why I wanted it. I thought, this is a career, I can go there. It was called fly in, fly out work. We call it FIFO or FIFO. So you fly away from my home city, you stay in a campsite for 4 weeks at a time, work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for the whole month, and then you'll come home for rest and recuperation, have 1 week at home to pay all your bills, see all your family, see all your friends, do whatever you can, have a rest, and then you go back and fly away again. So that was really good. I was on about $180,000 a year as a labourer, which is basically like starting level. There was people there earning $250,000 a year. But that's when I guess realized that money wasn't happiness. For the first time, I had money behind me. I'd saved up nearly 100,000 in the bank, had about 80K or so. But every single swing that I would fly back, the depression got worse, to the point where I said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I thought it was for me, but it's not. Like, there has to be another way in life. Like, I want to travel. I wanted freedom. I wanted to live life. And I guess some people can call it being ungrateful or a sook. I was always grateful for my job. Like, I was never ungrateful. And I used to actually go on YouTube and watch videos of African miners and panning with their hands and hand digging like holes, and to make myself feel better about where I was working, because I'm like, hey, this is a dream job, making good money, and it was tough, but it just wasn't me. I needed more out of life. I needed to be able to do what I wanted to do because I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't being my best self. I wasn't serving people. I wasn't giving back. I wasn't doing anything of value in my life. Like, I just felt empty. And that's when I started to research how to make money from home, how to make money online. And that's when my entrepreneurial journey started, around about 26, 27, about 6 years ago now. So eventually I started in the typical multi-level marketing, network marketing scene. At the time I thought that's all I knew, there was another way to work from home. I was sold the dream. I saw these guys driving nice cars, they were traveling, they were promoting this lifestyle, and I thought, well, if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. Jumped in, I quit my job, and I thought, yep, 6 months time, I'm going to be making millions and I'm going to be set. But we all know that doesn't happen. And I worked my absolute ass off for the next 2 years in network marketing, believing it was my be all end all. It was a health and wellness company. I've been training myself for nearly 13 years now, so I was fit and healthy myself, thought it aligns with me. I guess the best thing about it is I got the personal development. I started changing my mindset, and that's the one thing I'll never regret about network marketing, is the personal growth that I went through got me to become a bigger person, a greater person in myself, which allowed me then to go on and venture off to other things, which got me here today. So it was a great entry for me. But after 2.5 years of grinding it out, just doing calls and meetings and online webinars and presenting live once a week, organizing team presentations and growing an organization of over 1,000 people, I realized I was only earning $2,000 a month. And I walked out of my room one day and I just was standing in the dining room and I said, is this it? Is this really what I want? Like, this isn't me. I don't like knowing that I'm putting these hours in like I was a real estate agent. If I did real estate, I would have been earning a lot more money and doing the same hours. And I was like, I want to know that if I'm doing the work, I'm going to get paid for it. I don't want to rely on thousands of people for my income, because I'm working harder than everybody else and they're not working as hard. I'm not duplicating because they're not working as hard as me, so I'm not making money. And that's when I realized I needed to search again. I was back to the drawing board, and it was a hard decision. Everyone knew me as this guy, this network marketer guy, and I got so many haters in the beginning, and it was really fucking hard to make that decision to quit. I had all my friends in the business, and I had to make that decision to quit and go, hey, this isn't my dream. What the hell else am I going to do? And I lost some friends when I left the company, which I guess they're not true friends, because if they are, then they would have supported my decision. I made mistakes as well. There's some things I could have done differently, but long story short, I thought, well, hey, maybe I should focus on my fitness. Maybe I should go back, start building my YouTube channel, and that's why if you scroll down to my first videos, I did a couple of fitness videos, pretty rookie ones, but I tried. And that's when I started to research. I wanted to do something different. In the fitness industry, there's all these personal trainers selling their online programs, their own clothing label and whatnot. And I was like, how can I do something different online in the fitness niche that will change the game, that will make me stand out, become an influencer, and do something different? And that's when I read a book from an internet marketer called Anik Singhal, and it was called The Circle of Profit. And it changed my life. I had these light bulb moments when I read that book. I'm like, holy shit, I've been using the wrong vehicle the whole time. I needed to be working online. Internet marketing is affiliate marketing, that's what I need to be doing. And I knew that 100%. Anik Singhal, he was earning like $20 million a year plus on working online, and working online for 15 years, and I'm like, this is my way out. This is my ticket to travel and actually explore and experience the world, be able to immerse myself in different cultures and just be free to do what I want. It took me a long time to realize travel was a passion, not a hobby, because I didn't believe that I could do it full time. And it was such a liberating feeling. Like when I dove into affiliate marketing, I was just getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning before work. I was watching all these training videos. I bought so many courses. And this was the other downfall. I bought so much shit that taught me nothing. And I had to end up figuring everything out on my own. I was working a job, and I was working before work, after work, buying all these courses, spending thousands and thousands of dollars trying to figure it out. And it was another 2-year grind of affiliate marketing before I was able to go full time and actually figure it out, get on the right mentors, get around the right circle of influence, get the right training and strategies and systems that were going to actually teach me and serve me, that I could go away, run my business on automation, and travel the world. And here I am today. I'm 32 years old. I'm living in Bali now for nearly 5 months. I'm planning to travel around the world for the whole of 2019, from South Africa, Canada, Japan, Europe, and really fulfill my dream of traveling the world. But what it came down to is, like I said, I spent thousands of dollars on all these bloody waste of time courses online. There is so much bullshit online, and that's the other downfall. So if you're watching this video and you're hearing my story and it resonates with you, it aligns with you, and you are wondering how to get there yourself, you are stuck, you're in a job at the moment you don't like, or you're already working online but you're not getting the training that you need, or you're just completely fucking lost like I was, whatever it is, if you are interested in learning online advertising and building an online business around your passions that will allow you to do whatever you want in life, then this video is for you. This story is for you, because what I've aligned myself now is an education-based platform, affiliate marketing program, where we have business consultants / coaches which train you, a step-by-step training system that teaches you everything from online advertising, how to build a website, how to use email automation, how to build your confidence, how to set your goals, write business plans, strategies, everything. From complete scratch, we teach you how to build a business online, how to develop the mindset for success, and just evolve from there. So what I do is not only for brand new people, for newbies, but it's also for experienced marketers, people like me that have been in MLM, like network marketing, and struggling for the last few years. It's people that have been in e-commerce or blogging or trying to become an influencer on Instagram or YouTube or videographer, but you just can't get your traction. You just don't know how to actually market. You don't know how the skills, you're not actually getting shown what to do, because what we do is we have over-the-shoulder training. We're one of the only education platforms that actually teach. And I can guarantee you, if you are committed to your business and your future, then this will be life-changing for you. Now, like I said, it will take work, it will take time, it will take some money, some capital. If you can look at my other video that I just did yesterday about good debt and why I love it, that will also help. But yeah, that's my story, guys. I came from nothing. I was a high school dropout. I struggled to learn at school. I lost my passion of my football career. I went through a family break. I had a great life. I went through the whole family separation thing, didn't speak to my parents, hit the party scene, went off the rails for a while, and then, it was time to find myself. So I guess everyone has a story. I'm not looking for any kind of fucking sympathy. I'm here today. I survived. I'm grateful for that. I could have been dead at 2. I'm here, so I'm every day grateful. But if it's possible for me, it's possible for you. I used to be nervous going to do a bloody first aid course. When I had to go to work in the mining industry, I had to do a first aid course, and I was so nervous just to go and do my first aid course, a 2-day course where I'd sit in a classroom, because I'd still had these limiting beliefs and these doubts that I was dumb. And this was at like the age 25, 26. I was so nervous just to sit that course. I was nervous to sit my truck driver's test. And now here I am on social media, out there in public eye, speaking on camera, speaking on stage, teaching people, mentoring people. And it was all through experience. Like right now you might be thinking, well, I could never do that. that's fine, but you can, and it's baby steps. If you just start, and this training will provide that for you, will help you with the mindset to grow and become this best version of yourself, that you can do this. You absolutely can do this. So in the description down below, I'm going to put a link to access the training program that I currently am aligned with, that I am 100% committed to, and I am committed to you and your success and your journey. I match energy for energy. If you're all in, I'm all in. And thanks guys for listening to my story. It's the first time I've shared all of that publicly. I know it's gone for 20 minutes. If you're still watching this, I appreciate you for watching, and I'll speak to you guys on the next video. Thanks guys, bye.